Tora-Con's very first Lolita fashion show. I appreciate you all being here. So, Rochester has a local Lolita community, and they're going to be presenting some of their coordinates for you guys. For those who don't know, Lolita fashion is an alternative fashion. It originated in the 80s and 90s in Japan, and while it originally started there, it now has a global community of people who like to dress up in the fashion. So I hope you guys will enjoy the show. From the brand careful because sometimes they're not like legit.
What got each one of you into Lolita?
Want me to start?
Yeah, just have mine.
Okay, well, I had always followed people who had worn alternative fashion on social media, but I was in college at the time. I already dated, by the way. So I was really busy and couldn't do it. I recently graduated and then finally had like the free time to do it. So that's when I decided I would ultimately finally end up wearing the fashion. I like themes that I can't really find in clothing anywhere else, specifically like circusy type stuff. So it kind of fits what I personally like while also allowing me like an avenue of self-expression. Does anyone else want to answer?
It's actually probably really hard for me to trace it back because I apparently realized today I've been in this fashion almost 10 years. So when I graduated high school in '09, I had known a little bit about the style through anime and manga, big surprise. And then when I actually went off to college, met my friend Sam over here, and we kind of started the fashion at the same time together. She taught me a lot of the rules, and we started selling it together, and here I am today.
For me, it was actually interest in period fashion through literature, classic literature, like Little Woman, Anne of Green Gables, Little House on the Prairie, things like that. Led me to find an interest in the fashion, and it just so happened that J fashion was the kind of the modern expression of that.
So, this wonderful individual right here, I have her on Facebook, and she posted a plethora of beautiful dresses and images, and I was like, damn. I want some of it. And then I started wearing it.
I was in J fashion for a while before I got into Lolita, but I definitely was one of those girls that watched Kamikaze Girls when I was young, and that changed my life.
I don't need a mic. I guess like the first alternative fashion I got into was kawaii decora, and that was just like an introduction from like seeing at anime conventions. So then from there, you know, when you get into like one fashion, you kind of learn about the other. So it's kind of like a, you know, a slow, steady pace into the fashion. So my story's boring.
He got me into it. When I first started going to college, I met someone wearing a cute printed skirt, and I just had to ask him about it, and I did some research, and I got more into it.
Okay, I was also in school, interested in a lot of goth fashion, a lot of alternative fashion, and I started to become interested in Japanese rock music. A lot of the bands also crossed over into, Harajuku fashion, Lolita especially, so that's where I found out about it.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Yes.
What would you say is one favorite thing about each of your costumes?
It's not a costume. It's a fashion.
Like they said, it's not really a costume so much as a fashion. Just like goth, for instance, is a fashion. It's something that doesn't look normal, but it still follows the protocols if you're not really trying to dress as someone else. So I guess what is your favorite part of your outfit?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Right now, my bonnet. Exactly.
I like my bunny bag.
You just start down the line. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
I'm really fond of these socks, actually. I love the sort of shine bright headdress. I'm a sucker for the big maxi pad headdresses.
I personally am in love with my ostentatious pirate hat. It's just, I have a head bird for heaven's sake here. I have a freaking head bird.
I'd say my favorite part is my apron. It has lots of nice ruffles and embroidery to it.
I'm really into my brooch. It's got milk and chocolate on it.
I would say.
Yes.
Actually, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So, do you guys wear Lolita fashion outside of convention, at school or college? And the second question is, what's the most expensive Lolita dress that you ever bought?
To answer your question, we are all in the greater Rochester community, so we do have meetups outside of conventions. Sometimes we go and get crepes, sometimes we go to the museum, sometimes we go to just
Or
eat.
you just dress up at home and take pictures. Yes.
Most of the time I wore Lolita last year was not at conventions, so I personally usually wear it like whenever I go on dates or things like that. So, as for most expensive dress ever, can I tell you the least expensive dress I ever bought first?
Okay.
I bought a dress that usually retails for $150 to $300 secondhand for $40.
Nice.
Steals. As for the most expensive thing I've ever bought, I bought a dress and bonnet set for $450.
Oh, expensive.
So, a handful of years ago, Alice in the Pirates put out a dress called Elizabeth Bride of Death, and it, oh my soul. So I hunted it down for 5 years. I found it on one of the secondhand sites, and they were selling it for $300, which was original retail price. I freaked out, I bought it, and then waited 6 weeks for it to show up before I figured out it was a scam. So I went through PayPal, got another 2 weeks, got my money back, and then this lovely lady here found it for me on the Japanese auctions, and I spent like $650 on it.
Hey, but you got it.
I got it!
Lolita fashion is expensive, but I did a panel earlier today about how to afford the fashion. Like I had helped her find something on Yahoo auctions. There are lots of ways to be able to get into the fashion without dropping large amounts of money. So if you're interested in seeing my PowerPoint from earlier today, come see me afterwards and give me your email, and then I'll share it with you. And then it has a bunch of resources, like if you want to do OG fashion, like the Prince variant, if you need places to shop secondhand, if you're plus size or to shop, like it has all that information in it. So please come to me afterwards. Does anyone else have any other questions, or anyone else want to share their horrible, expensive stories? Yes.
If I wanted to get a picture, how should I get email about that?
If you want to get a picture of a Lolita in the wild, please approach and ask. Just ask. Yeah. We really hate it when people try taking pictures of us without us knowing. It's rude to take pictures of people without their consent in any situation. Yeah, just like cosplay.
I just felt like after the panel or something.
Oh yeah, totally active panel. That's totally cool. Where? Oh.
Have you made any designs yourself, or do you go out and buy that clothing? Have you ever made any of the pieces yourself, or do you usually just buy everything? I haven't made them either. Usually these are handmade when I'm wearing out. That's nice.
There's actually a really wide community for people who do sew their own items. Actually, there's even a Facebook group. I forget,
Sewing Collective and Pin Tucks and Lace.
So we tend to trade a lot of designs. There's actually even commercial patterns coming out now that are suitable for Lolita dresses. So you can actually go out and find them at places like Joann's. And if you have enough sewing skill, which a lot of cosplayers already do, knowing how to alter their own patterns, you kind of figure it out as you go along. And you know, we personally have made a lot of our own dresses before.
I just burned my wallet. Yeah, you all look really nice.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Oh, wait, I got one.
Oh, yes.
What activities do you do when you go out and like do meetups?
My favorite type of meetup is we get lit. We're a gang. We like destroy stuff and wreck cars. My favorite type, because I'm basic, is tea parties. I love it when we go to tea parties. Sometimes we'll go to this tea party place that's like in Buffalo. Rockport, yes.
Blackbird Cafe and Tea Shop, go visit, Joe is lovely.
It's amazing food. And so all of us just like dress up and go and have tea and like cake and like sandwiches, and it's just the best. And that's the type of meetup that I like doing the most. But sometimes, what is the recent one that we've done? It's been a while. Oh yeah, we went to Dave & Buster's for my birthday in Lolita. That was fun.
Art galleries.
Karaoke, art galleries.
We've been spotted at that little cafe right around the
Cafes.
Yeah, Cha-Cha Cafe.
Yes. Crepes, antiquing, just like fun stuff to do with friends, except we do it dressed like this.
Literally anything you do. I go to the grocery store in Lolita.
We went to Joann's in Lolita.
We went to the Carousel Museum in Buffalo.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That was cool.
I don't live in
Public
Lolita.
market.
What was that?
Public
Oh
market.
yeah, we also went to the public market here in Rochester in Lolita.
You can find Lolitas in the wild just about anywhere in this town.
Yeah, if you're in Rochester, ask about joining our comm. We're all really friendly.
At the dollar store. I had teenagers say hi to me. It's like, oh, the youth are
Does anyone else have any other questions? Yes. Oh, where?
There's one way up there.
Where's the other person?
Oh,
Up there.
What are some of the major like subgenres of Lolita? I know there's a couple like Gothic Lolita and such.
So there are 3 styles of Lolita, which are Gothic, Classic, and Sweet. And within those substyles, there are themes that you can wear. So like, if I wanted to dress like a sailor, but in Lolita, I can be a Gothic sailor, or I can be a Classic sailor, or I can be a Sweet sailor. If I wanted to do a pirate, you can be a Sweet pirate if you wanted to. You can be a Gothic pirate. You can be a Classic pirate. Like, it usually falls under those 3 categories of Sweet, Gothic, and Classic. And then however you want to dress it up is like Sweet. This is technically Sweet. Gothic, Sweet, Sweet. Yeah. Sweet Classic. Sweet and Sweet. Is usually based on like what sort of motifs you're wearing, what sort of color palettes you're using, and things like that.
So, if you're not like wearing it all the time, can you still be part of the group, or is it like strictly that's all you have to wear? And then going off from the previous question, being within those 3 categories, let's say someone can do something like more punk, more like with, I would, I don't know, with like Instagram or something along those lines. Is that, okay, so yeah. So
Yeah. Punk Lolita is definitely a thing. People will tell you it's not, but there are coordinates that successfully manage to do Punk Lolita, so it is definitely possible. As for whether or not you have to wear it all the time to join the group, you don't. Our group is actually a general J fashion group. You don't have to wear Lolita to participate in it, you just have to wear J fashion, and you don't have to wear it all the time.
Funny enough, my favorite dress has a pentagram on the neckline, and my favorite shoes are pentagrams. So it's a theme. You will find it.
Okay, is that it for questions?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for coming, everyone.